So we were pressing more. So basically, that's Kwesi Appiah was trying to read our game plan before he makes any move. But he realized that he got overwhelmed at that stage, that it made it very difficult for him to even talk to the players, to find a very new strategy, a new channel to even break our defense or even break our midfield. And it was not working because the likes of Suleimana, Kudus, they had already taken over the midfield. On the fullback, on the lateral side too, we had already taken over. And our defenders, as you said, they were on holidays because of the pressure we were mounting on them. So I feel like based on the strategy we use and the motivation by the players, but let's be honest here, it's Sudan we are talking about here. This is not a team that we are even expected to even defend or even try and play a very containing approach. We are playing against Sudan, so by all means we are supposed to be the ones attacking more, even with our West team coming.
But we needed the 3 points more than
them, yes.
So exactly, so they would just sit back
and see what we want to do. And clearly, they saw what we wanted to do. And I think their keeper also did very well because some of the chances that we got, he also proved himself. Especially with the long balls, the long shots that we were playing. As it was not working, then we started working, trying to push the ball into the 18-yard box. But that also, hard luck also played a part there.
I mean, talking about the goalkeeper, I mean, he said he wasn't that exceptional. Just that our strikers didn't place the ball so well. It was just direct to him.
Yeah, very, very direct. I think with the exception of the one, I think Semenyo shot that he was able to dive. Other than that, he also had a very field day. But you cannot tell me that he didn't also do well. He was, in terms of positioning, he did very well with his position. He made sure that he was not making a lot of mistakes because that was what we also wanted. But I think so far we did very well, and I'm just hoping that in today's game we are going to see a better and clinical finishing from our strikers and also from our attacking midfielders. And we've been able to break them. But now the question is, Kwesi Appiah knows our strategy that we use in the first leg. So coming to the second leg, what is he going to do next? Because if we try and use this same style and they're able to neutralize it, it might worry us. So I think we need to, at some point, trying to vary our tactics in terms of our attacks. Other than that, he might also pin us in terms of our weaknesses.
But do you think Kwesi Appiah is going to maintain the same tactics? Because this time around he will be playing home. I mean, away from home. Yeah. Do you think he's going to maintain the same tactics in Accra, stay back and maybe earn a point, or you think he's going to go all out this time around?
I don't think he's going to do that because of what he saw in the first leg. I think he's going to change his tactics. He's going to play more. He's going to try and put the game to us. He's not just going to so that, because he realized that whilst we're making use of our laterals and even our midfield, our defenders were on the field day. So now he has tall wingers. He has a tall striker in the person of Abdullah. He is going to make use of him. This time around, all he needs to do is to plug in certain holes in our midfield and try to capitalize on it. So I don't think he's going to be very containing and defensive like he did in the first leg, because he's more or less going to play home. He also badly needs the points, because mind you, in this group only 2 teams are going to qualify. Clearly Angola has one foot in there because their match against Niger, a draw is okay for them to get automatic qualification. So with that said in mind, our fierce opposition is going to be Sudan. Exactly. So clearly he knows that per point he's ahead of us. So what he can do is try and also attack us. So we are not going to see the same style that Sudan used. We have to be aware and be prepared that they are also going to be attacking now. Since they've seen how we played in the first leg, he took some notes and made sure that he knows where our weaknesses are, and he might capitalize on it.
So I mean, the ratings of the players who played it the last time, do you think Coach Otoado should maintain the same squad he started in the first half?
Well, I think in every game, the good thing is that we are playing qualifiers where 2 matches are being played in a space of 3 or 4 days. So to make barring any injuries, this is the best lineup that he can be able to put. create consistency, let them play together and know themselves very well. He's done that in the training. He did that in the first game, in the Sudan game, and I think he can also maintain it. We don't need so many changes with this lineup. He needs to maintain it and make sure that he varies tactics and the approach in terms of attacking. Because for me, I think this is the best lineup you can get. And most of these players are on their best, on their top form of their lives, with the exception of maybe Suleiman, who's just coming from injury. The rest are playing day in and day out. We see the performance of Semenyo at Bournemouth. Jordan is yet to get his feet at his new club. And Kudus, we all know what Kudus is doing. Elisha, the same applies to Ernest Nuama.
Yeah.
But I felt like Nuama, he shows some high work rate, but I feel like he needs to try and augment that with some good decision making. I mean, in terms of his final term, his decision making was very.
But it's
very
also
bad.
good that you have a player who gets in the pressure on one side of the team, and
yes, so that we will not really rely on one same style. Like it's going to be variation, because you could see clearly that when Kudus was not really getting the ball, Nuama was there to help us. Jordan, in as much as he was making a lot of delays, he was also very effective. And the same with Semenyo. I like Semenyo with his work rate. All I think Semenyo needs to do is to work on his finishes. He puts himself in good positions every time. And he's also good when the ball gets to him, when he's on the ball. If you can see clearly that they hardly pass to him in space. They always pass to him with their feet, because he knows what to do. When a player is behind him, he knows how to pocket the player and make those swift turns. But I think we should also capitalize on some of the strengths of these players, and let's not rely solely on Kudus. As I was telling you, you see Nuama, we were also making use of Nuama. At the same time, there was Elisha Owusu, there was also Kudus. So in that aspect, we don't really box ourselves to depend solely on one particular player.
Yeah, I mean, after the game, we saw a video of Jordan having a chat with Kusiapia, and it seems like he wasn't happy. He was complaining. But from what I heard, he was explaining to Kusiapia why he doesn't understand that they play so well in games, but they are unable to score. What is it with our players that when they come to Ghana, they are unable to deliver? Because we see them weekly scoring goals. Semenyo,
yes.
Imagine that.
Look at the goal he scored. Yeah, I think he scored a hat-trick or 2 goals in a game that they played. It was against Crystal Palace. I think it was that game.
Yeah, and there's one thing about Inaki Williams. His demeanor whenever he's in the Ghana shirt is different from when he's playing for Athletic Bilbao.
Well, it's good you've brought Inaki Williams, because for instance, I'm not a big fan of him, because this was a player when he was 19 years old. We called him up. He didn't want to come. He wanted to play for Spain.
Maybe he wasn't ready.
Yeah, it's not a matter of you're not ready. At this age, 29, it's not that we called you and you want to. No, I think he invited himself before he decided that he wants to come and play for Ghana Black Stars.
There was a chance to
clearly, no, that's it. Clearly, this is not somebody you should rely on. Because let's be honest here, Athletic Bilbao don't have clinical finishers. Athletic Bilbao, their system of running the club is to make sure that they employ local base. That's the Basque people. So if you look at Athletic Bilbao, all the players are based in Basque. That's where the club is based. So with them, they don't really even buy players like that. And with somebody like Inaki has not even guaranteed them 20 goals a season before. His best was scoring 15 goals. That was in 2016-2017. And because he doesn't have competition, they keep on playing, because one, in terms of work rate and trying to link up play, he's good at it. He's not the kind who can do the work that he thinks he can do. So with somebody like Inaki, anytime I'm very passionate, because he's not somebody that, for me, I was happy that I would have preferred we even call a local player than Inaki, because he doesn't bring anything to the team.
I mean, he doesn't
be honest with Gilbert, be honest with yourself.
He does well with
Athletic. That is all. And I'm telling you, with the work that he does with Athletic, look at the number of goals he scores. Last season, he scored about 11 goals. He has not even scored.
But he started well this season.
Yes, he started. How many goals has he scored?
Anyway,
in terms of link-up play, because I will always be, let's be honest here, he's not the kind of striker that we need, because we are already struggling when it comes to scoring goals. So to bring a striker like him there, I would have even preferred we bring Emmanuel Jesse, who has been playing day in and day out. Caleb Ekuban.
You've given him that chance.
How many chances do you give Caleb Ekuban?
Anyway.
We called him 3 or 4 times, and all those games he came from the bench. What did he do? Nothing.
But he played in the 2019 AFCON.
Yeah, how many matches was it? He came from the bench twice. That was only 2 games from the bench. About 8, and you want him to make an influence. You see, sometimes when we talk about this, it makes us think that some of the selection is not just based it's not being done by the coach. Because if somebody, I always use Joseph Alfred Duncan as an example. He has a very consistent performance back when he was playing for Fiorentina.
But where is he now?
He's in Empoli. He's still playing. He's a starter.
Yeah, but I mean,
Fiorentina, one of the best big
yes,
players.
But they didn't extend his contract.
They didn't extend his contract. But I'm telling you that when he was on top form,
yeah,
we're not even calling him up. What is preventing us from even calling Emmanuel Jesse? Let's look at his stats. Average of 30 matches a season.
But I mean, it doesn't matter. For instance, I mean, if you're comparing,
yeah, but it matters.
Emmanuel Jesse plays. Maybe
he plays as a forward.
No,
he plays as a forward. He has played as a striker when he was at Spezia. He played as a forward at Empoli. He has been. Well, he's a utility player when it comes to the attacking front.
Yeah, I mean,
why don't you call him?
But that's what I'm saying. Every coach and the style of
every coach. Gilbert, every coach.
So if I have a certain style and he doesn't fit in, maybe I wouldn't call him.
So you're telling me Inaki fits in the style, and we've still not seen anything. Gilbert, be honest with yourself.
Maybe with time.
Let's be honest with yourself. Inaki, have you been impressed since he got called up?
That's what I'm saying.
Have you seen any game that you say, oh, that was Inaki's best performance?
I'm telling you something. In terms of character, you can actually tell that he wants to do something. But
what does he want to do?
No, but I mean, he's so much dedicated.
How?
Even when before we played the last AFCON, he was the first player to report, leave his team. First
player to report, and you don't do anything. What concerns us?
He doesn't do anything. What do you mean?
He doesn't do anything. I said he doesn't do anything.
Maybe he's not been lucky.
I say Udi can't court and now
No, you can't say
that. It's true.
Maybe he's not been lucky.
What's not? How many matches? How many goals? How many matches and how many goals?
But he saved us. He saved us the last time.
How?
We played against which team was it? The last goal. I mean, his only goal he scored.
The only goal he scored. That was, I think, the Niger game.
It wasn't Niger.
It was the Niger one.
No, we played in Kumasi. Remember, it wasn't Niger. We haven't played Niger yet.
Now, okay, I think it was. That was the qualifier, the World Cup qualifier.
No, it wasn't World Cup.
It was World Cup qualifier.
No. The World Cup qualifier, we've won only 1 game.
Against Mali.
That's against Mali.
Against Mali.
Yes.
So what?
No, we've won 2.
2. That's Guinea.
No, Central African
Republic. Yes.
Yes, and Mali.
And Mali.
Yes. So that wasn't. I mean, he didn't score in.
But so
that was an AFCON qualifier.
Can I ask you a question? Are you satisfied with his performance?
I was giving you a scenario that when he's playing for Ghana, his demeanor alone tells a lot. I don't know whether there's pressure on him, whether he's been sacked enough to play, because I'm sure he feels like if I miss the chance, I'm going to.
Do you know how old he is? That's for him to feel any pressure.
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Where he's coming from or where he grew up is different.
So don't call him.
Why shouldn't we call him?
Because he doesn't even merit it.
Why? I mean,
he doesn't merit it. I'm asking you a question.
Did Kevin Prince
he merited it because he led Portsmouth team to win the FA Cup. He was one of the main players that led Portsmouth to win it, and that got him the selection he got.
Didn't Inaki Williams win
the recent Copa del Rey? Yeah. That time we had already how do you call it? Called him up. But I'm trying to let you know that Inaki Williams is not the kind of player that we even need. You asked a question about why we are very bad when it comes to scoring goals. I mean, and I'm telling you that
it applies to Semenyo as well.
Yeah, but at least let's look at his performance on the pitch. Compare Semenyo's performance, even if he doesn't score goals, as against Inaki.
Well,
let's do that comparison. Between Inaki and Semenyo, who would you choose?
But what is the expectation of a striker?
To score goals.
So if Semenyo comes,
but let's compare the two. Who is better?
Both of them are the scorers.
Yes, but Semenyo has more goals than him.
Semenyo.
So he has more goals than him.
He has 2.
He has 2. He has
more playing time than him.
Yes.
He has more playing time.
And so who is more experienced between Semenyo and Inaki? Who is more experienced? Who is the one who is not supposed to even feel that pressure? Semenyo started from a 3rd division team in England, Bristol City. Inaki, you have been playing for La Liga, scoring against the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona since you were 19 years old. Mm-hmm. So there you don't have any excuse. The same way we were treating Asamoah Gyan when he was not scoring goals, even when he was very young.
Yeah.
That even resulted in him trying to even stop playing. That same pressure we were giving Asamoah Gyan, that's the same we should be giving to Inaki. Anyway. But I don't hear people talking more about it because one, the whole team is not even performing. And Asamoah Gyan's case, because the team was performing, he was not scoring the goals, he was missing chances. But in our case, the whole team are not performing. So it makes it difficult for you to even single out a player and even criticize him.
Now let's look at threats from the other side. That's Sudan. I mean, from what you watched the other time, do you think any of specific players might put up a threat in today's game?
With Sudan?
Yeah, Sudan.
Well, I think the Abdullah guy and there's the other. Their name is very Hamid. It was Hamid. That was their number 8. Yeah, he was. You could see that he's very pacey. But every time he gets the ball, he has a very poor first touch. So anytime he gets the ball, he tends to, the ball becomes heavy on his foot. So but he's very, very pacey. He's somebody I think we should be very wary of because if he gets a good day, probably because of the system that they were playing, very defensive. So anytime they get a ball, he found it difficult to even run with the right back who he was supposed to be playing on the lateral with. And that's really, they don't really help him a lot. So when they're able to get their game on, I think he can be very dangerous. But aside that, I don't see anybody who's that exceptional. You see, the thing about the Sudanese team is that they know they are not exceptionally talented, so they play as a unit. So anytime somebody gets a ball, there's another person who is trying to also help out. So that in case he gets a ball, so they don't even waste so much time on the ball. They get the first 2 touches, then another person gets a ball. And that is what might punish us because all they need is to play in spaces. So they always have to create spaces for themselves. And when they begin to create spaces for themselves and we don't block them, we might be found wanting. And I think in the first 15-20 minutes, if they're able to do that successfully, it might destabilize the Black Stars defense. And that might also affect us. Gideon Mensah, for some time, has not really been performing. So I feel like they might try and exploit the left side very well. Because Ali Diseidu had a very good game, and I'm sure he's going to maintain that. But on the left side, with Gideon Mensah, I don't know, for some reason, after he got back from his injury, he's not been the same. He has been a pale shadow of himself. So for me, I think Kwesi Appiah noticing that in the second leg today, he might try and exploit that side very well.
So we presented our best, let's say our best in the first half. But at a point where Nyama was taken out and Inaki Williams was also brought in, we realized that the energy had dropped. Talking about changes and subs. In a similar situation, if something like that happens in Sudan, we are pressing, we are unable to score with the same set of players we presented against Sudan in Accra. What kind of changes do you think Otuado should make?
Well, I think for starters, the Nyama change, you could see, yes, Nyama was tired and his decision making was very poor. But I was expecting that he brings in Fatal instead of Inaki.
But I mean, he made 2 changes. Fatal came in.
Yes.
Fatal and
Inaki.
Inaki came in.
Yes.
To replace Jordan Ayew and
Nyama. But you could see that he brought in. So he pushed. Semenyo. He pushed Semenyo on the wings so that Inaki gets into the middle. Semenyo on the wings, he's not that perfect.
No, but Semenyo started on the wings.
He started on the wings, but now he's been very, very comfortable as a lone striker. But if you realize, on the wings, he was just running. He was not really doing much. you could see that at a point, the pace of the game reduced. So Kudus had to do everything.
Yeah.
That is what that was what I'm really hoping that we don't repeat that mistake again. If you are removing somebody, I think if you are removing a speedster, make sure you get a better replacement for him. Because Semenyo is so clear that he enjoys the striking role very well.
Yeah.
He started as a winger. He was very good, but he saw that his strength was playing centrally.
Because somebody will say he's raw. He doesn't have the flair.
He doesn't have the flair.
Yeah, so if he's playing on the wings, if he's so direct.
He's so yes. And he's so typical English player. Very direct. He doesn't show any flair, and that was what we needed. So I was really expecting that because Semenyo was having a good game, so he decided not to really move him. But I was expecting him to still maintain the central there and push Fatau there. Jordan but we needed Jordan's experience there. We should have waited and not make those two changes in a rush like that. We should have made sure that there was I didn't really see a lot of exhaustion from even Jordan for him to just remove him. Because if we were bringing in, that means if you could see, he wanted to even play 4-4-2 at some point.
Yeah.
It will push Kudus on the wings, and that's very, very bad. Because Kudus, I don't remember the last time he played on the wings. That was back.
When he plays for West Ham, he does that sometimes.
Yes.
They push him there.
They push him there, but he doesn't.
Actually, tell that he struggles.
He struggles, so you don't also repeat that mistake there. Sometimes I feel like these players also need to talk to Ado to let them know their best positions. Do you get it? Because they are not playing week in, week out like club, where they need to sacrifice certain positions. We play 2 matches every month, right? We go on every month. So in those cases, you make sure that the coach utilize your strength well. That's all. For me, that Nyama's substitution, in as much as he was making bad decisions, he was not that bad.
He wasn't bad.
He wasn't that bad really for you to just sub him. So if you wanted to sub and bring on a striker, if you were subbing Jordan,
he did a like
change. Yes,
that was
Jordan.
No, not Jordan.
Nyama coming for Fatau.
Yes, Fatau coming for
Nyama, and you push Inaki as a striker, and you push Semenyo on the wings. Semenyo on the wings is very bad. He is currently bad because he feels he is very pacey. But it's even a plus for us that we have a very pacey striker. He might not get the goals all right, but his link-up play is very, very impressive. Inaki had no business coming even on because apart from that chance he got, what did he do? It wasn't like he was even putting pressure on the defense of the Sudanese team, because clearly the attack was still even coming from the wings.
Yeah, I mean, the commitment of the players have been questioned at a point, and especially with our captain who was supposed to make it, and all of a sudden we heard that he is not injured, but he is ill. Did you see any different Black Stars commitment in the last game?
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm very happy because Partey has been.
Okay, do you think this should be Partey's last time playing for the Black Stars? We have a replacement for him, that's Sulemana.
Yes, because clearly, I said how many we can just. Since the World Cup in Qatar, how many matches have you seen Partey perform very well? I can mention two. The qualifier we played with Nigeria. That's the playoffs that we played with Nigeria. Without one, and maybe another one. I think the Mali game.
Yeah.
You will see clearly.
But even without he missed.
He has this laid back. I'm too professional. I don't want to do a lot. But let's be honest here, you are not a Pelo, you are not even a Gerrard or a Lampard. You've not reached that level. When it comes to, you are very talented when it comes to defensive midfielders. But when you don't show commitment when you are playing for Black Stars, because you are an injury-prone player, so you don't really want to do much. Yes. And that has always been that question. I've always had with Partey.
And he's being threatened with a new player at Arsenal, and so he feels like if he gets injured, then that's it.
But whether you like it or not, you are playing 38 leagues. Now, with the new UEFA format, you are playing 50 plus matches. So you don't expect to play week in, week out as midweek.
Some are saying that, I mean, Arsenal are monitoring him, and maybe they are just checking if he's able to maintain the form and with no injuries, so that they can extend his contract. So probably he's just
let us know that. No, the thing is communication. Do you think if you are told that, if you are told Asante Chum or the GFA president about this thing, do you think you would have come and said that some players this and this and that? Nobody would have made any because I was even discussing offer with you about Mbappe telling Didier Deschamps that he wants to play. He can't play all matches. He wants to play important matches. Lukaku said they should omit him for this one because he wants to stay fit for Napoli. Because he's now the main striker for Napoli. Now it's understandable. Tedesco came, he didn't even criticize him for that. Didier Deschamps didn't even criticize Mbappe for that because Mbappe is even the captain. You can clearly, because it's all about communication. But if you don't give us your reasons and you fuel more speculations and people will start even questioning. We already questioning your performance for the Black Star, and now you bring this thing on top. But I always say you are never going to be the first player to even do that. The great Michael Essien was even doing that. So we don't even care. Black Stars, Ghana, we are 30 million people. About 3 million people are roughly footballers. So let's be honest here. When you go, we just discovered who? Sulemana.
Exactly.
And Sulemana has played for under 20 before. Our very own friend, Oliver Atta. We should always make sure that we maintain. He will get another defensive midfielder who will also serve as competition. So that when they are playing, there is that motivation there. Partey knows that when he comes back, there's no motivation because he knows that when he comes back, we are going to put him as a starter.
He's our captain now. So.
He's our captain. But let's be honest here, he's not showing it. Anyway. I would prefer a clubless day, because at least you see it on field. You see it off field. That he wants to win something. Anyway. I don't see that with Partey.
So, let's move on. Your prediction for today's game?
Well, with today's game, it's very dicey because I feel like Kwesi Appiah has learned his mistakes in the first leg. So, he's not going to give us... I think we blew it by not scoring goals, by not winning the game. So, he coming in the second leg, he has the advantage to correct the wrongs he made. So we are not going to find it easy. If we're able to still maintain this tempo in the first leg, with the second leg, we just increase it a bit and become very clinical. We might get a goal. I don't see a lot of goals coming in this game. I think a draw, a win for Black Stars.
A draw or a win for Black Stars, that's coming from Marcus Edo. But I'm optimistic that Ghana is going to win by 2-0. Obviously, we are away. We play better away, and the pressure is not on us anymore. It's going to be a neutral.
It's supposed to be on us, Gilbert.
No,
I mean on us.
I mean without.
But either way, you need to win your home games. So far, the only point picked up by the Black Stars has been on the road. Ayew swings it in, better delivery, and not as deep as he might have wished with the three players coming in behind. Headed away impressively at the back by the Sudanese defence, not